Hi Stampers, it's Elizabeth from StampScrapandMore.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Canada. And thank you for joining me today. A few weeks ago, I had promised you a tutorial on my swap card for Backstage. I actually really liked it, so I thought let's recreate it, and we're going to do that today. So let's get over and I'll show you the card. So this is the card, and it is using the, I'm going to forget, Santa's Delivery Bundle. So it's using the stamp set, the dies, and the coordinating designer series paper. I'm also incorporating the tags and the scallop punch, and we'll get into that. A little bit of glimmer paper here. You can hardly see it at the bottom there, but it's just a little bit of bling on a card is always a good thing. And then when you open it up on the inside, it's got a little pocket there, and this is a well-worn card that I use for everything from putting ink onto pads to this type of thing, and the gift card will slide in there like that, and you have a really pretty, I think, gift card. So let's get started, and I'm going to share with you measurements. So you know the best thing about Stampin' Up's paper, and I'm just going to pull it out. This is the Santa Express Designer Series paper. On the back of the paper, as always, it gives you the colors that are in this paper. So this paper has Bermuda Bay, Cajun Craze, Early Espresso, Evening Evergreen, Granny Apple Green, Mint Macaron, Petal Pink, Poppy Parade, Sahara Sand, and Shaded Spruce. So we're going to be using some of those colors. And I can't make any mess. I can't make a mess because I have one piece left of this designer series paper, and it's going to be used in this card, so I can't make any messes or goofs, or I'm going to have to figure out how to fix it up. Okay, so get a pen and paper, and I'm going to give you some measurements. The card base is Poppy Parade, and it is 5.5 by 8.5, and I have scored it at 1 1/4, and I have scored it at 4 1/4. And you are just going to fold that and then fold this over like that. Easy peasy, guys. The designer series paper on the outside is 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. This strip of designer series paper is 5 1/4 and 1 1/4. This is basic white, and it is for the inside of the card, and it is 5 1/4 by 4. I have used the tags. Which tag did I use, guys? This is the tailor-made tags, and I used the second smallest one to cut that tag out. So it's the second smallest one. You're going to need the double scallop oval punch right there. And I need a strip of the red glimmer paper, and that's really just 1/2 inch by 2.5 inches. I have already die cut out the presents and the candy canes. So I'll just bring that card up to you so you can see it, the presents and the candy cane. I've already die cut that out. And you're going to need some of the white baker's twine. I'm always generous. This is like 11 inches only because I like to have room to tie my knot, but you don't need 11 inches. And you're going to need your black memento and scrap of the vellum cardstock. Do not cheap out on the vellum. Stampin' Up's vellum is so thick and luxurious. It's really good quality. And you're going to need a scrap piece of the Bermuda Bay. And then the blends we're going to be using are Bermuda Bay, Poppy Parade, Granny Apple Green, and Mint Macaron. And where do you think I got those colors from, folks? I got them from the designer series paper. It makes life so much easier. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to start by layering this piece of designer series paper onto the front of the card. I think I made 25 or 30 of these, and in this pattern there is also something that piece that says, I think, ho ho ho. Let me just get out the catalog and I'll show you. And some of my cards used the ho ho ho, and some of my cards used this DSP. Let me get out the mini and I'll show you. I'll show you. Oh, sorry, I shook the table. Okay, so this is the pattern that we're using, this one right here. But you can also use this one, and it just says ho, 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 or no, fa la 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 la. Sorry, it says fa la 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 la. And it actually looks really cute on the card too. So I had a mix of both, but I don't have any more of that, any of the paper left. I think I only have 2 sheets left of the Designer Series paper. So let me just get a drink of my water because I do have a bit of a cough still. And when I talk, it sometimes cuts my windpipe. Now I'm going to put a little bit of Tombow glue on each edge here. You can use, oh, it's a brand new Tombow glue. Oh, I forgot that I had a brand new one. It's like Christmas, folks, a brand new Tombow. Yeah, this is going to be interactive somewhat, so you want to make sure you've got a really, overkill on the glue there, a really steady or really sturdy adhesive. Let me just wipe some of that off onto my apron. Okay, and just hold that down so that it can cure really well. It's always a good idea to use a really sturdy adhesive when you're doing something like this and it's got a lot of interaction. The last thing you want is it for it to fall apart. Okay, really easy. So we're getting there. And then this is for the inside of the card, and we are going to stamp the Merry Christmas in Bermuda Bay. And I have it, and because we've got sort of this strip of paper here, we want to keep the Merry Christmas to the left hand side, and I'm stamping it now so that if I goof I can just flip it over. So let's get this, hopefully I won't goof. There we go, beautiful. And while I've got this out, I am going to adhere the ho ho ho, a little bit of adhesive on there. I'm going to adhere the ho 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 like that. And I had no more of the ho 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 paper left, but I had made the inside of the card a few extras, like here. So I had to cut one apart so that I could use it here because I had no more of the ho 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 paper left. And you can do this style of card using anything. It actually, I'll show you another one, another style from an event I did yesterday with my team. Oh shoot, Elizabeth. I can't. I'm not straight. So I'm just lifting it up and I'm going to gently squeeze it over. There we go. There we go. All right. And now this is going to adhere into the front. So yesterday I had first in a really long time, 2+ years, team get together. We got together for an afternoon of creativity, which was really nice. And we made this style card as well. And I'll show you that project when I'm done. Hopefully it will inspire you to create your own project. Okay. Easy peasy so far, right? Another sip of water. Sorry, folks. Okay. And now we're going to stamp the special delivery using the stamp and again Bermuda Bay. And make sure I get it nice and inked up. And I'm going to stamp it in the middle, trying to make sure I don't have my head in the way. Okay, there we go. Special delivery. And I'm going to put that aside and I'm going to bring out my Stamparatus because, as I had mentioned, I already die cut out what is the candy canes, or what are the candy canes and the flag and the presents. And I'm going to use my Stamparatus to stamp and die cut, stamp these out, or stamp these so that I get a nice clean image. And I did this for backstage, and it just makes life so much easier when you can do multiple, just setting it up once. So I'm going to start off with maybe the candy cane, and I'm going to nest that in there like that. And I'm going to pick it up, and I'm going to put my punch. No, I can't put my punch under there. Let me put this. There we go. I'm going to lightly stamp in the black stays on, and I'm doing that just to make sure I have it centered, and I really don't. It's too high on the top, so I'm just going to take the paper and I'm going to move it a little bit so that there's even space all the way around. This is probably one of my favorite techniques with this for the Stamparatus. And now I'm going to take the candy canes, plop them in there. Plop is the technical term. And I'm going to ink up that baby. Even pressure. And now I have, this is so phenomenal, I gotta tell you. I have perfectly aligned candy cane. If you had to stamp that and then tried to die cut it out, it's a pain getting it evenly spaced all the way around when you're die cutting. And I'm gonna do the same with the presents and the flag. I just have to get them out. And I'm going to nest that in there like that. Pick it up. I'm going to move that magnet out a little bit. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to stamp it inside. And again, it's not perfectly aligned. You can see the here, it's too high. So I am now going to adjust my paper a little bit. And even if the paper were to fall off like that, it's no biggie, because you have that stamped image on your grid pad and you can realign everything. Does having the grid paper does make life a lot easier, I will admit. And I'm going to ink up the presents and press that down. And there's the presents. Perfect. All right, let me put this aside. Now we're going to do a little bit of coloring. There's the candy cane. And I have my Poppy Parade, and I'm actually going to use the light Poppy Parade. And I'm going to be coloring the candy cane, and I'm going to be doing it alternating red, Poppy Parade and white. And if you wanted to, you could break out the Wink of Stella, and you could color that candy cane in even further and just give it a wee bit of sparkle. Okay, and there's the candy cane. She's done. All right. I am going to, let me get this up here. I am going to snip off the bottom, and I'm going to snip it off now, and I'm going to tell you why I'm snipping it off once I get there. But I'm going to snip it off so that it is straight like that. Okay, and now I've got the presents, and the presents are a combination of a whole bunch of colors. Because it's such a small image, I'm going to be coloring mostly with the lights, and because you can always darken up the colors by just adding another layer of the light. So the big present is Poppy Parade, like that. And even the bow, I did Poppy Parade, which I guess I shouldn't have done it because they're right beside each other, but I'm going to darken up the present a little bit. The bow is a combination of light and dark Granny Apple Green, so I'm going to start with the dark. And the ribbon is going to be dark. And I'm going to do that light. And then inside here is light. And I'm going to make this light. Oh, is that? That's not Granny Apple Green. That was mint macaron. There we go. There we go. The flag is going to be Bermuda Bay. And I'm going to color down the edge because I want it a little bit darker. And I'm going to color like that. And then I'm just going to blend it all in. And I'm going to go back again with the, and make it a little bit darker along the edge. If I had to use the dark to begin with, I think it would have been too dark because it's such a small spot. And then I'm going to use the light mint macaron, and I'm not going to get too fussy and just color in that the rest of that present. And then while I'm here, I've got the light Poppy Parade. I'm just going to darken up the edge of that present a little bit more, like that. And I might do a little bit more on the Poppy Parade here. I mean the Bermuda Bay. Okay. All right, so now we have the present colored in. Okay. I'm going to take my double oval punch and I'm going to punch out 2 of the large in, one in Bermuda Bay and the other in the vellum. Put that aside. And we can start assembling. So I have things built up over the edge of the card, like that. I have to remember how I did it, to be honest with you. So I've got the vellum like this, and when you adhere these onto the card, make sure you don't put adhesive on the areas that is hanging over. And I'm going to put some Tombow glue on the card, like that. And I'm going to layer the next one on, just kind of like that. There's no rhyme or reason. I just like cards that have layers, detail. Oops, what did I do wrong here, folks? I put adhesive over the edge. Don't do as I did. Like that. I put too much adhesive on the right hand side. Like this. All right. Now, remember I had said that I cut the candy canes off a little bit, the bottom, because I'm going to adhere the candy canes on this stitch line like that, so that they look like they're kind of coming out of the stitch line. I'm going to try and do it without getting my fingers on it, but I just want to bring it up so that it's flush with the stitch line. I'm going to put some Tombow glue on it, and I do have baby wipes beside me today because my fingers always get covered in glue and ink. We at our team event yesterday, we were using Night of Navy ink all day, and yes, their hands were covered in ink. Night of Navy has to be one of the worst colors to get off, and is easy to get on your fingers and hard to get off your fingers. Okay, so that's that. Right. And now I'm going to pop this up like that. And remember, I don't want any dimensionals on the right hand side, so I'm just going to put dimensionals sort of right to the L. And I have some dimensionals from a paper pumpkin kit that I'm going to use up. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, don't put dimensionals towards on the bottom because we have to tuck in the glimmer. Okay, so I'm not putting dimensionals on the bottom and even on the top because we are going to tuck in the presents. Okay, so we're going to do this, and I'm going to adhere it like that. I'm just going to dry fit it to make sure. See, I've got dimensionals too far over on this side. Right there. Okay. And kind of like that. Okay. Now we are going to take the glimmer paper, and it is going to go flush underneath like that. And I'm going to put Tombow glue on it. I'm not going to put Tombow glue on this edge though, because we don't want it sticking out over. And it's flush on the card, not popped up like it is under the special delivery. It just adds a little bit more dimension. Like that. And you can gauge how far you want to tuck it in. Depends on if you hit your dimensionals or not. There we go. All right. And now the present. So the present, I'm going to put little dimensionals on it, and I'm going to tuck it under a little bit so that this line, that's why I didn't cut this line off. You can see the edge where I didn't color down to the bottom. I'm going to put little dimensionals and then tuck it underneath a little bit. I just have to get my little dimensionals out. And I'm going to put one there, and one there. And the card, I think it's super cute, and it's so easy to put together. And if I find in my box from yesterday's event, I'll show you the card that we made that using a tag kit, and we did the same design, a similar design I should say. And then the last but not least is a little bow. And like I said, I always cut off more than is needed, but you don't need, I think I cut off 11 inches, but you don't need to cut that much off because I'm going to trim it down so that it's not so long. But I just like to have some to play with. And I'm going to put it over that hole there so that it looks like it's part of that. Like that. And hold your finger down there so cute, or you can use a glue dot. Okay, and there's the card. I think it's so sweet, so sweet. And then you open it up and you can put your gift card in there. Now, in here, here it is. So we played with the Love Scented Tag Kit, and the idea was to take the tags and create something other than a card with a tag. So I'll show you. So this tag that said special delivery, I thought it would be really cute to make a gift card holder the same style using this tag because it says special delivery, right? So I think that's pretty cute. And this was the card that we made yesterday. And you'll see it's the exact same design like that, except for it's I used the gift tag on the front. And ignore the, I told you, Night of Navy, right? Gets all over everything. So this is the card that they created, one of the cards they created yesterday using the tag kit. And I think it's pretty busy, but it turned out really well. I like the presents here, and continued on with the presents here using that same designer series paper. That was the card. I hope you enjoyed that tutorial, and thank you for joining me today. Again, my name is Elizabeth, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Canada. And if you make this card and you post it on my Facebook page, Stamp Scrap and More, I'd love to see your creativity and what you come up with. But I think it's a cute card and has great potential. Happy stamping. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye.